What's up, everybody? I know I haven't posted anything for a few days now, so might as well just try to, start some things, starting tonight. And plus, I had to do everything over because I had to reset my laptop since it was going kind of slow. So now it's like a little bit faster, thank God. And everything is not deleted, like my files and stuff is still saved. So good thing for that option. But it, enough of that. We know, that Bucks lost game 6 and game 7. They brutally lost game 7. I think it was 81 to 109. And it's like in the third quarter, they just couldn't hit their shots. Third and fourth quarter, they just couldn't hit their shots, but they was in the lead in the first quarter. Then after that, it was just all Boston. So yeah, the Bucks is eliminated. And yeah, the crazy thing is that Bucks eliminated, so there's no repeat as champions. But a friend of mine pointed something out. Tim Duncan didn't win like back-to-back championships. Like he won like at least 5 of them before he had retired. So which is a good point. But it kind of shows also that they couldn't do it without like a second scorer. And I thought in my head that they'll be okay with Drew Holiday was being the second scorer, but yeah, that sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't work. So that's kind of sucks. So wherever videos I'm going to see from this point on, because I know some people are going to, some YouTubers and stuff are going to make a rebuild, I'm sorry, of the Milwaukee Bucks. So I thought like this is gonna be my first time seeing Crushables do this video about like trying to change the Milwaukee Bucks and stuff. So you're gonna hear me with some agreements or some disagreements. But this should be fun. This is my first time doing this type of video. So if we get like more likes or something like that, I'll probably do more and stuff like that. So let's hear from Crushables.
What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another offseason rebuild. Of course, we did the Phoenix Suns yesterday, but now we're doing the other team that got eliminated in the second round of that course being the Milwaukee Bucks. Before we get into today's video, though, guys, if you could drop a like, of course, subscribe if you're new around here, that would be greatly appreciated. And quickly, real quick update, guys, I will be live tonight before the draft lottery live streaming my reaction to the draft lottery. As you guys know, it's very important for me because I'm a Blazers fan, so I would love to see my Blazers jump to the top 3 tonight, top 4 tonight. Whatever happens, but I will be live, so I'd love for you guys to
end up getting number 5
to watch it if you want to. But that's just letting you guys know I will be live tonight if you want to come out and watch the draft lottery with me. But we take a look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, they got eliminated by the Boston Celtics in 7. Some people would argue that if Chris Middleton was healthy, the Bucks would have won this series. You may not be wrong, but we're going to do our best to try to make this Bucks roster even better this offseason. So let's go ahead and see what we can do as we have the Miami Heat going on to beat the Golden State Warriors in 6 games. So let's get into this offseason and talk about the Bucks a little bit. So again, the biggest thing is Chris Middleton not being healthy. They could have used him. They needed a guy that could create some shots other than just Giannis, obviously. So Drew Holiday was doing his best, but super inefficient, just chucking up a lot of shots. And at times looked really good. At other times, just too many shots for my liking.
Detroit Pistons didn't get
for everybody's like, we have the 24th
first
overall pick, so that should actually come in handy. But as far as staff signing is concerned, we have Mike Budenholzer, which he's solid, but definitely would love, sometimes he gets criticized for his adjustments and stuff he doesn't do. But he's solid enough that I'm not going to fire him, obviously. We won a championship with him already. But hey, if they didn't win that championship, he might have been fired back then. But obviously they won, so I don't see them moving on from him. But one thing we do have to talk about today, after we fill out this coaching staff on what are some options on how the Bucks could get better, is probably exploring a Brook Lopez trade, which we'll talk about here in a second. But we're gonna fill this out.
Somewhat agree, but it depends on who.
Of course, we are on draft night, and we're gonna take a look at some options here. So the other 24th overall pick in this draft. And then if you look at some of the contracts, you have Chris Middleton, who has a player option, which I assume he could easily accept that at $40 million, being 31 years old. I mean, there's a chance, though, his value just goes way higher than that. He opts out, and then they have to sign him to a bigger contract, or they trade him. I don't think they're going to trade Chris Middleton. Giannis and Chris Middleton seem to like each other a lot. Drew Holiday, I don't think is going anywhere either. Obviously, they give him
he's
a
not
lot to
going
get
anywhere.
him.
Chris
But Brook
Middleton,
Lopez is a
maybe.
guy that's coming off a surgery he had this season, and sometimes he wasn't completely on the floor for them. So I could see a world where they trade Brook Lopez and sign like a cheaper center. And then in the playoffs, they'll probably go with Giannis as center more often. So what I kind of want to do for this team is I want to get another player on this roster that's going to be really like a good 3-and-D guy, basically. Just another guy. So Brook Lopez in the 24th overall pick, which it says I can't trade.
If you struggle to lose weight, you must see this.
Yeah, forget about these commercials and apologize.
Trade it, but on draft night, you're able to trade your picks. So that's why I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, first and foremost, let's just try it with just put Brook Lopez in the trade finder, because Brook Lopez is still a good center. Don't get me wrong. He's a guy who could play defense and space the floor a little bit, still a decent center. And there's going to be some teams like the Raptors, for instance, that may be interested in something
Kelly
like that.
Olynyk
But
will
obviously,
be
this
something.
doesn't get us where we want to be. There's a certain guy I have in mind for the Bucks that I really want to try to make happen. So that is going to be the trade I'm going to try to explore. Maybe the only thing I'm really looking for is trading Brook Lopez here, to be honest with you, because of the expiring contract and having this 24th overall pick. And I think I can make something happen here. So I went ahead and threw Brook Lopez in this first round pick in the trade finder. The Philadelphia 76ers don't really like that offer. Of course, I'm looking for a guy who's going to be, helpful. The Celtics, I don't see them doing that. The Clippers, we get Clint Capella, but that's not really what I'm looking for.
Nope.
Terrence Davis and Justin Holiday, Royce O'Neal, I'm not trading 2 firsts for. So we keep looking, not really seeing what
One thing I
I
can say
kind
is
of wanted
Kelly
to pop up.
Olynyk.
So we're going to have to make the trade ourselves. So this is the trade I kind of had in mind. And I think it makes a little bit of sense, but at the same time, it could not make sense because Brook Lopez is too old for this team. But we take a look at the Charlotte Hornets, for example. And if we take a look at them, PJ Washington is a guy that I think the Bucks could definitely love. He could start for them in the playoffs if they needed to. Him and Bobby Portis would be good power forward options. And again, Giannis can slide over to center when they want to go and not have a traditional center out there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So Brook Lopez and my future and my 2020 or my 24th overall pick for PJ Washington. Maybe you throw in another pick. Maybe you throw in your second round pick as well.
Which they
and the Charlotte Hornets get themselves
don't
a
have.
center, which, like I said, Brook Lopez is
I
not
don't
a
know
long-term
how, but
option. So
they
I'm not
ain't
sure how
supposed to
much
have
Charlotte
it.
would really value Brook Lopez. If he was younger, I'm sure this trade would go through. But again, Brook Lopez being as old as he is, I'm not sure the Charlotte Hornets love this trade. And yeah, they're not a big fan of it. So if they throw another second round pick, they agree. So trade 3 picks in order to get PJ Washington, who I think is going to fit perfectly here in Milwaukee. So I like him a lot coming over to the Bucks, and he'll be a really good power forward option. And again, this will give us the option to kind of have Giannis play more center, basically, is kind of what I'm doing here. So I kind of like that. So now PJ Washington's another guy, kind of like PJ Tucker a little bit, not exactly the same at all, to be honest with you. PJ Tucker plays a little bit different, but Washington can also space the floor. I like that pickup for the Bucks. That's going to be the guy was my big pickup. And then player option, of course, Bobby Portis is going to decline. But this offseason, we actually have his bird rights, and then Pat Connington's been a really solid player for the Bucks off the bench. So I definitely would love to have him back. Jordan Nwora got played, was not in the rotation in the playoffs, but when he did play for the Bucks, he was actually pretty solid. So that could be another guy you could potentially throw in the trade for the Hornets to accept it if Jordan Nwora was in the trade. But again, I mean, the city of Milwaukee loves Bobby Portis, so I don't see Bobby Portis going anywhere, to be honest with you. So I'm going to give him a 4-year deal. He re-signed, and now he's going to get his bag. So Pat Connington, same kind of deal. I think Connington is really beloved in Milwaukee as well. They traded for Serge Ibaka at the trade deadline where they traded Dante DiVincenzo. Can't remember if they got a second-round pick out of that trade or not, but obviously DiVincenzo
They did get
or Serge Ibaka wasn't playing for them in the playoffs.
but
So, yeah, I'm not sure how that trade went or how they thought about that trade. But
not sure
we
what
take
year,
a real
though.
quick look. They have Bobby Portis playing center, but I want to do is I want to have Giannis playing center more, and I'm going to have Bobby Portis play the power forward. So this is what it's going to kind of look like. But I still do want to sign like a traditional center because maybe during the regular season we don't want to go to that as much. But in the playoffs, I think it would be like really nice to have like Giannis out there at center, and then you could have like Bobby Portis, PJ Washington out there together, or Chris Middleton, Connington, or Grayson Allen. There's a lot of lineup flexibility here, but we do need another wing player, so I kind of want to get one in free agency. So Connington is great. PJ Washington, Bobby Portis, I love that a lot, and I still want a traditional center, like I said. So Pat Connington does not. He actually goes down if I move him to shooting guard, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like he's more of a shooting guard in my opinion. So I'm going to move
You
there
can play
anyway.
either one.
So it's going to be
Shooting guard or
Connington,
small
Grayson Allen
forward.
at your 2, and then George Hill is your backup point guard, and Drew Holiday. But we kind of need like a backup small forward and a backup center. So
Yep.
let's take a look what we can find. So small forwards, Eric Gordon makes a lot of sense for me. Another guy that could create his own shot as well. And then as your centers, you have Serge Ibaka. But again, I said I wanted more of a traditional center. So Whiteside, I guess, could be that. But I don't know. Aaron Baines is out here as well. I don't know where Aaron Baines is nowadays. But Eric Gordon, I think I for sure want. I think he'd be a really nice addition here in Milwaukee. So we get Eric Gordon. I like that a lot.
I don't know.
Do we have a trade exception? We do. We have an $8 million trade exception. So maybe we use that trade exception to get a center. I'm not signing Freedom. Guess you could always just sign Serge Ibaka back and just have him play a little bit more. But I don't know. Marc Gasol, Dwayne Dedman, Mason Plumlee, Whiteside. As far as center options out here, they're not that great, to be honest with you. So I could try his trade exception and find a center that fits about an $8 million trade exception, just for like another center that we don't have to worry about Giannis playing center like in the regular season, but in the playoffs, him playing there would be nice. So let's see. We did this. It'll be, Chet Holmgren, obviously not going to happen. We got Naz Reid, Daniel Gafford, Mitch Robinson. So Mitch Robinson would be nice. And Kongwu, Walker Kessler. It's just not really there. You know, a lot of the centers aren't making that much money. Mohamed Bamba would actually be really solid to sign from Milwaukee. I would like that addition for them a lot as well if they could find a way. Then Thomas Bryant. We could get Thomas Bryant. That's not going to happen. But again, Mo Bamba, I would love nothing more than to get Mo Bamba. But again, I don't think we have enough money
Nope,
for this.
you don't.
So yeah, he's not going to accept the minimum, and he's declined, obviously. So we're not going to get Mo Bamba. Thomas Bryant, Serge Ibaka, Xavier Tillman. Yeah, so none of these guys are going to be really that gettable. You have Willie Hernangomez, but
Nothing outside the
again,
box.
it's not going to be. So I think we really have to sign a free agent, and the free agent that, Drummond would be cool as well. Again, you're not going to play much in the playoffs, but, for the regular season, he'd be fine. I guess I could sign Serge Ibaka back. I don't really know what else you do there. You did trade, like I said, you did trade DiVincenzo, so I don't mind Serge Ibaka. And then I'm going to get Jordan Nwora back, and maybe Jordan Nwora gives me a decent option to maybe trade for a center. If not, Mitch Robinson, still, I wouldn't mind him. He's not going to accept the minimum, though. So maybe on day 12, he'll accept it. Let's see. Mohamed Bamba, 1 year minimum. Does he accept it now? No. Damn, man, that would be crazy if we get Mo Bamba on a minimum. What about Thomas Bryant on a minimum contract? No. Damn, bro. It'd be so cool to get one of those guys, but let's see. No, I can't. 2 years, that makes it even worse. So, yeah, that makes it all worse. So, okay. That sucks. We couldn't get one of them, but we'll have Jordan Nwora back on his qualifying offer. And if we go to player progression, Giannis is going down, Chris Middleton going down, Drew Holiday going down, Bobby Portis. Everyone, of course, is going down, which we kind of figured this Bucks roster is a little up there in age. Jordan Nwora, I guess, could be like a huge part of the rotation this year, so maybe we don't trade him away. Maybe he'll be like more of a small forward for us.
Pretty true. Probably could use them more.
But I kind of like where we're at. Kind of like our
Well, he
roster.
needs a better
Again,
shot-
I think we
a
should
shot
have
selection.
definitely had more of a traditional center here. But I think with PJ Washington coming over here, that's going to make us that much better. And again, with Giannis
I
being
don't
able to play
think so.
center in the playoffs, it's going to make this roster just even scarier. So let's take a look at this roster. So you got Drew Holiday, Pat Connington, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis starting at power forward, which I don't mind that. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo, PJ Washington off the bench. You got Grayson Allen, Serge Ibaka, and Jordan Nwora and Eric Gordon. So I'm going to personally just run a 9-man rotation just to give my best players like I said, the best amount of stats possible, best amount of minutes as possible. Honestly, I think I'd rather have Grayson Allen start, but either way, they're both kind of, the similar player, 3-and-D players, shoot a lot of threes. That's what you're out there for. So Jordan Nwora and Serge Ibaka, though, we're kind of relying on them to be, decent enough. Defense is a 4-star. Balance is a 4-star. And then can we go up anywhere? No, I'm just going to move this to a balance system because that's where everybody fits it the best. And we're going to simulate this season, and we're going to see how this Milwaukee Bucks roster does. So, again, Giannis, traditionally, you'd have him at power forward probably in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I would love to see Giannis maybe play a little bit more center. I think it could be very nice for Milwaukee. So we're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of this season, and we are going to see how this Bucks roster does after that offseason we just had for them. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic, like usual, wins MVP. Pretty much happens every video. Paulo Banchero's rookie of the year at the Detroit Pistons. And tonight we will have the draft, tonight we'll find out the draft lottery order. So we'll do some draft lottery rebuilds probably tomorrow and then the rest of the week. Klay Thompson, 6th man of the year. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year at center. So not too bad, 23 and 11 for him. And then 2 blocks per game, 5 assists. Killian Hayes most improved, and Willie Green is your coach of the year, and Dylan Shaw is your executive. So all NBA first team, all NBA second team, and all NBA third team. Giannis making it all NBA third team. Probably would be, more of a, if he was that forward, probably would have made like all NBA first team, but it is what it is. So if we take a look at the player stats real quick for the season and taking a look at it. So we had 23 from Giannis, 21 from Chris Middleton, 17 from Drew Holiday. PJ Washington, like I said, was an excellent acquisition for us. He had 14 points and 11, and then 10 from Grayson Allen, 8 from Connington, 7 from Jordan Wall off the bench, and 6 from Serge Ibaka. So I'm actually going to shrink this down to an 8-man rotation in the playoffs and have my 8 best players playing. So it looks like we have a lot of guys on the fire, which is good. So Jordan Nwora is going to get some minutes, Grayson Allen, and they want to start Connington, which is fine, I guess. And then we're going to see if we can win a championship here with Milwaukee. I love the PJ Washington addition here. If you're able to pull that off, again, I don't know. Maybe get like a third team involved that would maybe value Brook Lopez a little bit higher, and then the Charlotte Hornets get like Miles Turner. But I guess maybe the Pacers just take Brook Lopez's contract on as like, I think, getting picks out of it. I don't know. And it's just an idea. But regardless, let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who definitely have some size. They have Markkanen, which they aren't starting Markkanen at small forward this year. They have Osman there instead. Laurie Markkanen is on the bench, and then Karis LeVert, Kevin Love. And they kept Colin Sexton as well, but Isaac Okoro starting over Sexton. And then they have obviously Mobley and Jarrett Allen. So this team is going to be a little bit bigger, which I'm hoping we have the size to match that for sure, but I'm not sure we do. I guess at times you could have like Washington, Portis, and Giannis together out there on the floor if you really need to. But game one, we're up 1-0 to start things off. So 44 and 16 from Giannis, which is what you love to see. Game two, we're up 2-0. So far, so good. 43 from Giannis again. So Giannis is dominating Jarrett Allen down low. Did he drop 40 again? 50, bro.
Whoa.
Giannis is just taking it to another level. Come on, Giannis. All right, there we go. 5. Beat them in 5. I wonder how much Giannis is averaging in the playoffs right now, because he's averaging 36. So he must have had a terrible game. Game 4, I guess it was, right? Game 4, he only scored 22. So that's why his average got brought down. But he was probably averaging like 40 before that. But do we get the Brooklyn Nets? Yes, we do. So we get a rematch of Milwaukee versus Brooklyn. So this will be interesting. Kyrie, Seth Curry, KD, and Simmons. And then obviously no James Harden there anymore. But Drew Holiday, Connington, Middleton, Bobby, Giannis, Washington, Grayson Allen, Jordan Nwora. So this will be interesting. Game 1, we're up 1-0 to start things off. We beat them pretty badly. Giannis, once again, has been fantastic. Washington's actually been a really good player in these playoffs as well. So I love that addition for this team. They do even it up, though, 116 to 110. So this is going to be a battle for sure. We're down 2-1. Okay. I'm a little nervous about going down 3-1 to Brooklyn. So let's go ahead and simcast game 4, because I'm definitely trying to win a championship with the Bucks here. But if the Nets end up taking me out, then, I wouldn't be too surprised. And it is a close game, but we end up losing by 4. Chris Middleton drops 33. Giannis drops 33. And honestly, man, if we end up losing in these playoffs, I don't really know how good this roster is going to be next year. I think this is our window right now, at least in 2K, because I know Drew Holiday is about to go down overall. I know probably Middleton is probably about to go down. So we are in desperate need to win this series. But, I mean, being down 3-1 to Kevin Durant is not looking good right now. So it's a close game, and it looks like the Nets are going to take the lead back at the end, and they beat us 108 to 112. So
Nope,
the Nets get their revenge on us, and they end up eliminating us. The Atlanta Hawks, and then the Pelicans go on and win it all. So I will run it back another year, but I'm going to be honest, boys. I think this roster is going to get even worse. It is. I mean, we're going to be old. This roster is going to get even worse. Outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo, this roster is kind of old. So just like the Suns video, like I said, like how their roster was a little bit up there in age with Chris Paul and stuff, I would definitely love to come back to like another Bucks rebuild where we kind of build the next wave around Giannis Antetokounmpo, where we like maybe trade Drew and Drew and Middleton, and kind of see what that would look like. But I'm curious to see if Middleton's going to accept his option or not, and he did. Okay, so we get Chris Middleton back. Then we have Sandro here. I guess we could accept as well. Qualifying offers: Jordan Nwora, PJ Washington are 2 guys I definitely would love to have back. Then for free agency, if we take a real quick look, we have PJ Washington. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo, which I'm sure Giannis would love to have his brother stick around, so we'll go ahead and sign him back. Then Jordan Nwora, and of course, PJ Washington we do want back. So make sure they're not renouncing him for me. There we go. So we get both of them back. We are renouncing George Hill this year, it looks like. So backup point guards we could grab. We got Kemba Walker. I mean, we could sign like Kemba Walker, I guess, to be like a backup point guard for this team, and maybe he's good enough for this team. But Washington and Jordan Nwora don't have offers yet. Washington's starting to get an offer. Jordan Nwora, I'm going to just go in and give a 2-year deal to, and then a 4-year for Washington. So we're going to sign Jordan Nwora. We're going to sign Washington back. Is there anything else we need to do? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, still kind of looking for that center. Brooke Lopez is back here if you want to just go for Brooke Lopez again, but he's going to probably continue to go down overall. Boogie Cousins, I guess, was in Milwaukee at one point for this team. I'll sign him to a deal. And if we look at player progression for this roster, Giannis going down, Drew Holiday went down to his 79 overall. So, yeah, not looking good. But we're going to run it back again, man. We're going to see what happens in season number 2, and we'll go from there. But hopefully this team, like I said, I think the window was last year, but you never really know. With Giannis still being on the roster, anything is possible. But starting 5 is pretty much the same. I'm going to leave we're going to run into a 9-man rotation as well for the regular season. And the playoffs will probably run a 8-man rotation again. But let's see if we made the playoffs again, and hopefully this year maybe win the whole thing. So this year, once again, Luka wins MVP. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year again. But this year, unfortunately for us, we were
Drinking water before bed
Sorry,
burns
no
46
commercial.
pounds in 2 weeks. If you are struggling to lose weight and you're over 25,
actually in the play-in tournament. So we are not even in the playoffs. We get to play the Boston Celtics, which the Celtics have no business being in the play-in tournament either. But hopefully we're able to get out of the play-in tournament. I'm going to be a little disappointed if we're not able to be honest with you. We are at home. We have to win 2 games, which I don't know, man. 1-game format is going to be tough, but we got to beat the Celtics here to get into the playoffs at first. This is the first step. It's looking good so far, and it looks like we are going to beat the Celtics to win our first game. Giannis had 41 in that game. Now we get to play the Atlanta Hawks to have the right to go play Cleveland. So let's see if we can get it done, man. It's in Atlanta this time. We can't get in the playoffs, dude. I'm going to be so sad. Please get in the playoffs, Giannis. Please get us into the playoffs, man.
Shouldn't have got PJ
It's not looking
Washington.
good. It's not looking good at all, bro. No way. Wow, in this second season, we're not even going to be in the playoffs with this Milwaukee roster. That's kind of crazy. Trae Young draws 51. You know what? I'm not too surprised. I kind of mentioned that I thought our window was last year, and I had a feeling this roster was going to get old and 2K was going to hate it, because that's what 2K – if your roster is old, 2K does not like it, man. It does not like old rosters. The algorithm in 2K hates old rosters. If you have a roster full of 25-year-olds, you're making the playoffs every year. But if you have a roster full of 33-year-olds, you're not making the playoffs, bro. They just don't like it, man. So it definitely sucks. That's how this video is going to end. But like I said, man, I think I do really want to do a video where we actually like build the next wave around Giannis Antetokounmpo here in Milwaukee. So if you guys would want to see a video like that, definitely know down in the comment section below. But like I said, tonight I will be live for the draft lottery. I'm going to probably go like live an hour or 30 minutes before. An hour or 30 minutes. It sounded like I said an hour and 30 minutes before, but an hour or 30 minutes before the lottery, and I'm going to hang out with you guys. We're going to live react to the draft lottery. We're going to hope the Blazers get the number 1 overall pick tonight. But thank you guys for watching. Drop a like if you did enjoy. We're going to definitely do some more offseason rebuilds once those other 2 teams get eliminated in the conference finals. But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.
Okay. First of all, I wouldn't like get PJ Washington, but it was a good idea to trade like Brooke Lopez since he's getting up there in age. If he was getting up there in age, you might as well just trade like Chris Middleton as well. Because like Chris will have some good games and he'll have some off games, and he managed to end up being the all-star. So like I said, he hasn't on the off switch, but Chris Middleton needs to have that on switch every single night, just like Giannis got the on switch. And like he'll rarely have like a game that's like lower than like 15 points. It's just like I would have not get PJ Washington. Like, although he would be good for his size, like being 6'7", but I would not get PJ Washington. I probably would have did like a trade for Brook Lopez for like value, maybe something like Miles Turner or somewhat a center that can defend and shoot the 3. I probably would have, have Budenholzer for like 1 more season, and if he doesn't change his defensive schemes, then yeah, I would have like, nope, you're going. So I would have gave him through next season to see some changes. But then again, only thing I'm saying that because they didn't have Brook Lopez most of the season. So yeah, that's a little bit different. But I don't know. I just would have, done some things different than this. But I possibly might do a video showing like what I'm doing. So we'll see how that goes. But check out Crushables. He talks about more about the NBA and things like that. So check him out. Um Also like this video, give it a like, and all the YouTube subscribers, please well, all y'all YouTubers, please subscribe to the channel. I think we got like a couple more subscribers. So like I said, we're trying to get like more subscribers so we can, do more. Um Besides being live at home, I can be live, somewhere else. But you get what I'm saying. But like I said, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Check out our past videos of wrestling and Milwaukee Bucks content. And yeah, this should be interesting, wrestling. And I know I need to do more wrestling, so I'm gonna do more of that. And since I got like more time in the summer and not doing much of the Bucks things, but sooner or later I'm going to do like a Milwaukee Bucks review, just talking about the season. So eventually I will get to that. So just keep an eye out for it. But thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, have a good one.